Welcome everybody to Twilight 2000, a survival game in a what if happened situation, if World War III happened in the year 2000. Our intrepid players are stuck in Poland. They have no contact with any US or NATO command structure. Their last message was, "You're on your own." And in about a week, we have done so much, or rather they have done so much. We left it last session after a battle at the farm owned and inhabited by Maria Kaminsky, her two children and mother-in-law. She was about to be executed by evil Soviet GRU agents, and our intrepid heroes decided to break into that. They've been tracking down some coded signals that have been transmitted around the area of the town of Konin in central Poland. A firefight ensued. The enemy were dispatched, and our players learnt to fight with tactics and learnt to use cover. So they didn't take too many injuries, which is a bonus. But these guys, they rescued Maria, they rescued her children, and they headed back late at night. It's about 11 o'clock. And they have headed back to the number station, an underground bunker that they discovered was run by an American CIA operation. And it turns out that Maria Kaminsky is a deep cover CIA agent who's been in Poland since the 80s, married and has children. You guys are all dead tired, exhausted. Doddy, who is not here today, Croy is not able to make it. Doddy is in a pretty poor state. He was on watch overnight, so he's not slept in probably 24 hours. And Kobe, you know he is absolutely dead tired. You know his weapon jammed at the end of the firefight, and you know he is walking along with you guys, kind of using the his rifle as a walking stick, and he looks absolutely terrible. Isaac hasn't come back with you. He was talking behind with the children's grandmother, Maria Kaminsky's mother-in-law. You know he's going to follow on afterwards. Grayson is still injured from the firefight where you lost Second Lieutenant Parker. And that happened yesterday as well. So it's been a pretty traumatic time for you and for your entire group here. The stress and strain of combat, of survival, has hit hard. You've had loss, with only one thing that seems as a bright positive in this world. Pies, the dog, is nuzzling along with Doddy just every now and again as Doddy slows down, just nuzzling his head to speed him up. Occasionally just a little yelp as you look back and see how he is. It's only a short trip back, but you get back to the number station. You head in through the river and through the tunnel. And you, yourself, Kobe, go ahead. Katarzyna, Isaac's friend, is with you, but she's kind of more keeping up with Doddy, who is fairly slow, and Grayson, who is only able to walk due to his injured ankle, and then Maria with the 2 children. So you've kind of gone ahead, moving up through the tunnel, feet in the water. You're trying to tread as quietly as you can, and you move in to the number station, and you find it is empty as you left it. Those soldiers that the GRU agent sent don't seem to have either found it, even though they knew the location of it. But you've cleared it out, you've checked it for booby traps. Nothing looks changed inside the station. The room with the radio is still there, the transmitter is there. You can see the cable going up through the roof, and you know that in one of the trees there is an antenna. You look into the main living area, you can see the bunks, you can see the table, the chair, the stove, you can see the cold pot of coffee on there. Again, going in, you can see the initial entrance area where the composting toilet was, the sink, the water drums. Nothing has been disturbed, nothing has been touched. You check the hatchway up to the main entrance, and again, nothing there. It's clear. Now, you know Doddy's got a claymore mine that he disarmed from the tunnel. You think that maybe you want to get that off him, and maybe you'll use that to cover the tunnel itself. But you get in, check it out, it's clear. Concerns you, where are these 2 GRU operatives? You head back out, call everyone in, and wearily the group of you squeeze in. There are 4 bunks in this area. Doddy kind of slots in, kind of kicks his boots off, just falls down onto the bottom bunk, and very, very quickly sleep takes him. Maria brings the children. She goes to the other double bunk and she puts the children into bed. It's quite late for them. They're yawning all the way along here. The daughter, a few tears in her eyes. They'd seen, it seems, death, brutality, and the horrors of war. And you settle them down. You can see Maria opens a panel on the wall that you guys hadn't spotted when you were looking at it, and she pulls out a small submachine gun, a couple of clips of ammo, just cocks and loads one, slings it on her shoulder. Grayson, you come in. Rick, you come in. What are you doing? Because you're injured. You going to one of the bunks or sitting in the chair by the stove?
No, is it the only chair?
I think there's a couple of chairs in there. You've got the. No,
I'm gonna.
Yeah, I think there's a couple of chairs in there.
I'm gonna grab one of the chairs and scoot it over and put me.
There's also a couch over there as well.
I kind of want to be like slightly in the way of the door of wherever the kids are going to be sleeping.
Well, they're in the central room. The couch is almost opposite the door to where the transmitter was, and it's to the left of the doorway into the entrance. So it's a pretty good spot to keep an eye on them. And again, they're on the bunk closest to the actual transmitter room and to the exit tunnel out. So
yeah, I'll
scrunching on the couch kind of gives you a good field of vision and the ability to stretch your leg out, more importantly, and still have your gun ready.
Right.
So you plonk down there, and again, you're pretty tired, and you hurt more than tired. You actually got some sleep the night before because it was Dolly that was on watch.
A little bit, yeah.
But, you've had that mental aspect of decoding the message, and you've had fighting, you've had combat. See Kobe, Katazania comes over, and she's got some rabbits, actually. Notice this walking, it was dark. She's got some rabbits that she caught when she went out earlier hunting before the attack at the farmyard. And she got a bag of root vegetables. She said, I promised to your friend that I would make some rabbit stew. She goes over to the stove, or rather over to the table, and pulls out some bits and bobs, a knife, starts prepping the rabbits and the vegetables. She gets some water from the barrel next to the sink in the other room. And a few minutes later, you can hear water heating up, a large pot onto the stove. You can see Maria goes over and then starts talking in Polish to Kat, and you can see that a coffee pot is put on. And a few minutes later, you get the smell of coffee. But you can hear that Isaac hasn't arrived back yet. Your watch hasn't worked since the nukes went off.
Yeah.
And it's been maybe 20 minutes, half an hour. You kind of don't want to put that Claymore mine down there till he comes in. You're pretty certain that he will come in, as you discussed, via the tunnel, which is the most secure. You're looking as well to the other side where the hatch is, and you're closed up the door into the lounge. The stress and tension of combat is just kind of adrenaline kind of sinking from you, so you do come over almost exhausted by things. It's been a busy 24, 48 hours.
I'm going to mention to Maria and Kat, those GRU, if they didn't find the place yet, they still might.
See, Maria comes over. They had a map.
The other issue is where does the smoke go from this? Like, if it can't.
It goes up. There is a stovepipe.
Yeah.
It goes up into the earth. There is, and she says, I was about 12 feet down that way into some bushes, and it's very well concealed. As long as there's not too much smoke, it should be okay.
I'm concerned the GRU are right up there, right outside, waiting for somebody to come back so they can ambush us. They may not have known necessarily about the back entrance, and their tactic might be to sit there and wait to see who comes.
See, Maria, well, let's go and take a look. Your friend on the couch is there. He is watching. Your other friend, Kat, is here. She is prepping food. If they come down the tunnel, I would imagine that you've secured the tunnel entrance, yes?
Yes, we have secured the tunnel entrance with the rope. It can't be opened easily.
Let's head out. We can go down through the water. We can go and scout around the top. You can check that smoke is not too visible. Yes?
All right. Yes, 100%.
Okay. She pulls out this, it's not an American, it's a Polish submachine gun. She again cocks it, checks the safety. And you can see she definitely knows her weaponry. She checks to make sure it's safe, it's sorted, there's no blockages, because it seems like it's been hidden in this little compartment in the wall. Let's go.
Did I notice anything else hidden in the wall when she opened it?
You didn't see anything else in there, but there could have been something in there. Okay. You need to check it out later when she's asleep.
Yeah. We have more.
Or ask her if you're being polite,
No.
So you and her go down to the tunnel. Are you telling Rick?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Rick will. We're just going to make sure that the Soviets aren't waiting on the upside to ambush whoever comes.
Okay.
Okay. So you go down through the escape tunnel. So the stone part near the entrance to the number station and into the water. It goes down and towards the little stream. You kind of get out. Okay, can you make a recon roll to sneak up to where the entrance is?
There we go.
Nice, okay. Okay, so yes, you come out the water, climb up through the trees, and you stealthily move through the forest. The terrain is fairly dry. There's not been a lot of rain recently. It is June, it is summer. And yeah, you can see just hidden away the trapdoor entrance. You can see the rock that covers it from the way in that the tracks you were following were. And you're pretty certain that you both moved fairly quietly. You listen. You can hear an owl hooting in the distance. You're kind of looking round, and you're looking, and you can't see or hear anything. Are you using your night vision goggles?
Yes, that's the other thing I was going to mention, because it would be late at night, and I do have some battery left.
You do have some battery left, you do. Okay, Okay, make another recon.
Okay.
Okay. Using the night vision goggles, you start scanning around, and it amplifies it, gives it an unusual glow, but amplifies what you can see. And as you're scanning around, through the trees to the north, you see something. Might be a person. And you kind of watch, and it's definitely not moving. You're listening. You don't hear any sounds of breathing or anything. It must be, 20 meters away, just to the north. You can see Maria is with you. She's looking round, but she hasn't got any night vision goggles. She's got her SMG up on her hip, just covering primarily to your east and to your south. Charlotte, can you see anything?
I'll motion one and point directly down the direction. I'll pass her the goggles.
Okay, she takes a second to adjust and looks. Okay. Hands back the goggles. She aims in that direction. You go, I'll cover.
We have to find the second one first.
She stands up. Guess I'm playing chicken tonight. She kind of shoves the SMG. It's quite small and compact. Let me just have a look how big it is. Not that big, I don't think. In fact, I know it's not that big. Where are you? Where are you, Maria? It's definitely not that big. She just brings her overcoat to cover it up.
I'm gonna try to grab her down, and if that's useless, overwatch on at least the one that I know of where he is.
They're not gonna shoot me straight away. Remember, their boss wants me. She starts walking, and she's not making any effort to conceal herself. You see she's stepping on twigs. As if it's normal for her to be walking out at night. You can hear her start to whistle. And it's you don't know what song it is, but it's got a strangely familiar sort of lullaby type tune to it. And she walks over to the person. You can see you're looking through the goggles, and she steps over where you spotted something. She kind of looks, listens, and then just drops down to her knees. And you can see her outline quite clearly. She kind of turns at you, and she gives you a signal to come.
All right. I'm going to move forward, but I'm going to try to be a lot more quiet than she is.
Okay, make a recon roll.
Yeah.
As your stealth. Okay. You make it quietly to where she is. You drop down onto your knee there, and you can see a body in military fatigues, very similar to those that you saw at the farm. But what is quite strange is there's definitely 2 gunshot wounds in this figure's back. See, she kind of points just a meter or so in one direction. And you can see there's another, through the night vision goggles, there's another, looks like a lump on the ground, which doesn't look there. It's not moving. You or me? She smiles.
I'll go and check that one out. You stay here on Overwatch.
She raises the SMG and covers your location. Okay.
While I was at the body, can I tell what caliber
Not in the dark.
made that? No.
Not in the dark. It's too dark.
Okay. Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, there's 2 bullet holes in his back though.
Okay, cool.
Okay. Are you stealthily going over there?
Yes, I am.
Oh, let's make that next recon roll.
Let's
Go
try
on.
it. Well, maybe I'm not going stealthily, but not for lack of trying.
You do an amazing job. You're about halfway over there, and your foot cracks down on a large rotten branch of wood. And it almost kind of echoes throughout. It's almost like the sound carries throughout the whole forest as you kind of stop there and probably drop down to the ground.
Yep.
And listen. And again, there's nothing. You can see actually, we'll see if you can hear or see her. Recon. Okay. I'm clicking your trigger. Okay. Your token. She, with 1 success, is suddenly there right beside you. You didn't hear her. I was looking for the herd of elephants. Have you seen them? Or have you heard them? She smiles.
They're right over here, below my boot.
Right. Well, he's not moved.
I'll check out the body as well.
You move over, and again, you can see 3 bullet holes. This time it's in the the chest area. Definitely same uniform as what you saw at the farm.
Have they been stripped of equipment, dog tags, everything?
You check them over, there's no weapons on them. And if they had dog tags, they're not there.
Okay.
Could it be your Isaac, your friend?
I know that Isaac was working with taking care of something else. And they're not crossbow bolts, so that we know.
There are cats with us.
Exactly.
She kind of picks up a bit of brush and just covers the body up. She kind of just puts a mark with a knife into the tree trunk. Kind of looks back to the number station. Okay, let's go back and cover the first one up. We can check him more in daylight to see what happened.
I agree. Yeah, I'll move over and...
Can you make one more recon roll for me, please?
I can.
So you head back to the second body. She grabs you and pulls you to the ground, ducks down herself. She kind of points north. There's something over there. I saw a flash of something. Metal on moonlight. I don't know.
I'll take up the
Okay, take the night vision goggles.
Yeah.
You can make a recon roll with +1 this time.
Okay.
Because she's assisting you, pointing you into the location. You look, and you can't see anything bar trees and bushes. I don't know, maybe it was nothing. I don't know. Gonna take a look.
Yeah, if she thinks that there might have been something there, I'll probably move closer to try to get a better look.
Okay. Make a stealth. I take it you can try and move as stealthily as you can.
Yes, yes.
Make that recon roll.
We're gonna try it.
You move over to where she pointed. And you kind of look down, you kind of drop down. There's nothing there now. But as you drop down, you see a pile of shell casings. You pick one up. Really hard to see whose it was. But it's definitely a it looks like it's definitely a pistol round.
Oh, okay.
Definitely a pistol round.
Pick them all up. Okay.
Okay, there's 5 shell casings there.
I'm gonna grab them all.
You can also see there is some indication that there was something or someone here.
Can I tell how recently would it?
Ooh.
And I'm gonna take it I don't see any cigarette butts or smell the horrible black tar of a French cigarette.
You don't see anything of that nature. And what do you got? Computers, combat engineer, combat awareness, scrounger. You're not sure how long it's been. Probably in the last hour, maybe 2 hours tops.
All right. I think it's time to head back. I want to basically know if these shell casings were Polish or Russian specifically, but that'll only be able to do in the light in the station. But for now, there doesn't seem to be any danger. And if there was somebody that does know about this place, they seem to be more friendly than not because they've killed 2 Soviet agents.
Okay. Right. You head back to the station, going in through the tunnel. And we'll leave you just heading back into safety, carefully and cautiously. Isaac.
This has been the cliffhanger I have been waiting for the past 2 weeks. This point, I was going to call it out and ask about it. I am so excited for this part.
Isaac.
Yes.
You finish up at the farm.
Yeah.
As you leave it, you look at the Polish truck that's there. There's some torches that you extinguish the light from, and you head back into darkness. And you make your way back towards the number station. Your familiarity with the forest around here is only due to the fact that you spent a lot of time with Kat and her friends. You move carefully, slowly, stealthily, and deliberately. Can you make a recon roll just to make it there?
What you mean is none of those things.
Well, I don't know. You may roll 3 successes for all I know.
No, just the one.
Right, what did you get? Well, you got a success.
I got a success.
You got a success.
Yeah.
Yeah, you do make your way back. You manage to find your way through the woods, find it to the stream and into the stream. Walk down the side of the stream and you see the little branchway going off to the tunnel. And you quietly make your way through the tunnel. Kobe, you are inside. You've literally just taken your jacket off. It's quite warm in here. The stove and the smell now of the rabbit stew is just, you know, even Doddy's snoring, sneaping form is occasionally as he is out cold. And you hear someone coming up the tunnel. So you're there with your gun, and you see Isaac coming up. Probably took him a bit of time to get through here because he's only been this way once, whereas you had Maria to guide you back, who knows this forest very intimately, because she's been running between the farm and the number station for months, if not years. Isaac, you see Kobe as you come up to the dry parts and the door, and you see him there with his gun pointing down.
Sorry, Kobe or
it's Kobe.
Grayson. Oh, Kobe.
Yes, Kobe. Just got back in.
Okay. I just walk straight into the area, take my gun off my back, and just kind of I look at Kobe, Grayson, and I just say, the children asleep.
Grayson, you're kind of there. You can see them. They're actually zonked out. It's past 11. It's almost midnight.
Oh, they're not in their separate room. They're
in the middle room with the bunks.
Okay.
You got Doddy's on the bottom bunk of the one closest to the composting toilet, and the kids are on the bottom bunk together, next to the bunk that is close to the numbers, the transmitter room. Grayson is laid on the couch with his gun out ready. You can smell some food being cooked, and you kind of realise you haven't eaten since this morning as well. So food is kind of there, and yeah.
Is Maria there?
Probably smells familiar for him.
Yeah. Maria is there as well. Yeah, she's sat on the floor, leaning up next to the bunk beds where her kids are.
Yeah.
I'm very interested in looking like deep into Isaac's eyes. Does he have an appetite for food? Is he hungry? I'm kind of looking at him, and I want to see what is his expression and demeanor as he comes back in to the number station, the hidden bunker.
Okay. What you probably notice is that he is doing everything he can to avoid looking at Maria. That's probably the most obvious thing that you would note. He's avoiding looking at Maria and the children.
Okay.
He just kind of comes in. That smells good.
You kind of close the door behind him, Kobe. You feel the bullet shell casings you picked up and jangle in your pockets as he comes in.
I'll take them out. I want to see what make they are.
See, Maria says, we found 2 dead GRU agents. Is it your work? Isaac, your work?
I shake my head.
She kind of keeps looking at you as if she's... And it's almost like you can feel her eyes burning into your soul.
And I actually turn my back to her, as if I'm fixing up, like undoing gun belts or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Undoing the flak jacket.
And yes, putting your rifle down.
Yeah.
You can see Kat hands a cup of coffee. Then she turns... Grayson?
Thank you.
There's no sugar. It's black. But it's probably better than the coffee you tasted in Turek with your mother. I mean, your Polish mother. But yeah. You sip... It's hot and it's clean, tasty, and you can smell the food, and you just hear belly rumbling from not eating anything since the rations this morning.
There's no Americans in the area. I say that in Polish to Kat. Kind of more of a question.
Only that one we saw, that officer. That's the only one apart from these that we've seen. She kind of switches to English.
Yeah.
The only other person we've seen is the American captain that we saw running through the forest heading in this direction.
What about the rumors I say in English?
I don't know.
But
I'll take one of the casings and toss it towards Isaac. You're a policeman. Is this Polish police issue?
Okay.
Actually, as you flick in one and you look at it, and it's definitely not Polish police issue. It's definitely a NATO issue.
Oh, yeah. I guess Kobe would have known that.
Oh, well, he's kind of pulls them out. He's only looked at them in the light.
So it was dark. Yeah.
He didn't look at them outside. But you kind of throw him one, and then hang on.
Wait a second.
Yeah, I'm tired. I'm tired.
Yeah, I've got a mind to plant still, so I need my concentration for that.
So yes, you can see it is a 9mm round. And it's definitely a NATO 9mm.
Well, there are still other allies out there we don't know about that still have an interest in this place.
Allies?
Yeah, I think you're granting them a little bit too much leeway there for not knowing who killed this person or persons.
The enemy of my enemy
is also my enemy.
See, Cat, well, the only person we saw before we met up with you guys was the American officer that was running through. She kind of just shrugs her shoulder.
Who we clearly know is not our friend.
No.
Well, food, anyone? I mean, it should be ready soon. We'll save some for Doddy in the morning. So,
Okay.
how are we doing this? She kind of looks. There's 2 spare bunks, a couple of chairs.
I mean, as far as Grayson is concerned, the ladies and the kids get the bunks.
Yeah.
That's fair.
See, Maria, I'll be fine here. Someone who doesn't snore can take the top bunk, though. See, Cat, right? He kind of just puts the crossbow on the top bunk. Quietly climb
Cat
up there.
won't turn down a cushy bed.
Quietly sit there. Are you going to put the mine back out?
Yeah, I'm going to take care of that now.
Okay,
I do have combat engineering.
it's fine. It's fine. You take the mine out, put it back where it was in the tunnel, put the tripwire across to the other side of the wall, cover it, conceal it. It's dark in here anyway. Yeah, it's about where it was. It's about where it was when Doddy took it apart. You kind of step back in, close the door. You can see there is a wooden bolt on the door as well, because this door's wood. The other doors in here are metal, but this one is wood. And it kind of does it. It's got a handle, but it's there's a coat hook on it, and the coat, when you hang a coat on it, it kind of hides the actual handle itself. And you see it's the same wood as the side of the walls. So it's not very well concealed, but it's fairly well hidden.
I think that's going to be the sign. I think if somebody or if we put a coat that's hanging on the hook, it means that the mine is armed for everybody inside to know.
Okay.
So if anybody's thinking about getting out in a hurry, they better rethink it if they have that coat on the hanger.
Anybody sleepwalk?
Exactly.
You can see.
Oh, I forgot to say Grayson does. Boom.
Well, he kind of sleep shuffles at the moment, doesn't he? You know, it's kind of.
You
make more
have
noise.
plenty of time to stop him.
Yeah. You see, Cat brings you out a coffee, Kobe. There you go. Drink.
Thank you.
It will warm you up. She hands one to Maria, and Maria is just cupping the coffee. And it's almost I suppose there's almost a silence in the room as you kind of all reflecting on what's happened. You can see Maria just kind of looks over at the children, just checks and pulls the blanket up. She stands up. So, what happened? She's looking directly at you, Ezek.
I'm going to pretend to just be resting, but I am listening intently. Right.
She said she'd keep quiet.
Lena said that. Can you make a persuasion roll, please?
I mean, I don't think I'm...
Let's the dice decide for you.
Let's have the dice decide. Oh, pretty persuasive, actually, yeah.
You got one success.
Oh, okay.
Now she has to roll.
Okay.
Being an expert
Yeah.
in infiltration and She kind of raises an eyebrow.
I turn away as soon as I've said that as well.
You don't lie very good.
Do you say that in English?
Yes, she says it in English.
And I kind of stop, I stiffen, I suppose, like in place, and then I'm just gonna walk. There's another room, right? I can walk into another room.
There's a room to your right, which is where the transmitter is, and there's a room to your left,
that's
where
where
the
I go.
composting toilet is.
I walk straight into the transmitter room.
Yeah.
And then I close the door, if there is one.
Yeah, there is a door. Yes, there's a metal
I
door.
lean against it, and I hold my hand out in front of me, and it's like this.
Okay. Kobe and Rick, you kind of just see Maria just kind of lowers her head, and she reaches underneath her shirt and just holds a silver or metal cross of some description. Just kind of just holds it and rubs it, and you see her eyes close, and she says a quiet prayer. So, we better get some sleep. Do you have a vehicle? Or do we need to get some fuel for the truck? She's
We
looking
have a
at you,
vehicle,
Kobe.
but we need fuel for the vehicle. We're dangerously low.
Well, we can get fuel in Conan. She kind of looks the two of you over, Rick and Kobe. She kind of goes down to one of the crates and starts pulling out some civilian clothes. You can't go into Conan in your fatigues.
Don't need them anymore anyway.
Well, I wouldn't throw them away. Just in case. There's a few brutal bastards in this world that would shoot Americans as spies. She kind of smiles. I know. I was up against the wall. She kind of reaches out and just knocks quietly on the door to the transmitter room. Izek, come on through. Get some food. Your friend has made a good rabbit stew over there.
I'll be there in a minute.
What's the view in Conan on flak jackets, helmets?
Okay. We have coffee. Are you going through, Izak?
He takes a few minutes, I think.
Yeah. Okay. She goes over and sits by the stove. Okay, Conan. As your friend will know, there is a Polish militia here. Colonel Marek Wozniak. He's a former Polish officer. He runs the militia in Conan. He is, as are a lot of the people, not everyone, pro the communist regime. So flak jackets might not be such a good thing, especially when your flak jackets look American.
Well, we can't disguise our voices or the language we speak.
You just keep quiet. Play dumb. I speak Polish. Cat there speaks Polish. Izak speaks Polish. They know the city. They know the town. I know some people around. Now, Conan is not as worse off as a lot of places in Poland. Before the war, Conan, north of the town, has a large surface coal mine. There's a coal-fired power generator. Wozniak has got some volunteers working the mine. They're digging up coal. I know he's trying to get the station working to secure his dominance. If he can provide power to the people, I'll provide heat even to some of them. Population got decimated last winter by dysentery, cholera. The winter was harsh. The other option we've got is, if we want to get out of here, is to get access to a boat. It's on the river. Docks are in there. There's a large amount of boats that are starting to work up, doing some trade up west to the outskirts of Poznan. Other things that Conan's got. Wozniak has got a large still producing fuel. Hence why he's able to get some small excavators out to work the mine. His militia are armed. They're well supplied. He has done some dealings with what was it they call him? The Merchant of Turek for supplies. I have never been to Turek, so I don't know who they are there. But there's definitely fuel in Conan. There's coal, they're digging coal. There's heating. He hopes to get the power station up and running before winter hits. If he can get electricity, light and heat, it secures him. The center of the town is where, and around the rail station is where they have done a lot of barricades, checkpoints. They've used a lot of the outskirts of the town itself. A lot of the buildings are devastated, wrecks, windows blown in. He has some NATO forces, not NATO forces, NATO soldiers, prisoners that are working the mine under guard, as well as volunteers from the town. I believe we've picked up radio communications. He's been transmitting out on certain frequencies. I said cholera and dysentery are rife. No one is allowed to openly carry weapons while the militia in the center of town. So if you go into
that's
town,
going to be a problem.
You have pistols, knives. You won't be able to take your rifles unless you dress up as militia guard or Russians. I know he's been talking to a Russian general or general commissar or something like that. He was one of the commanding officers in the forces in Kalisz. Did the breakthrough. He ordered his forces just to go through and destroy and kill anything. And then again, maybe you've seen some of that. I don't know. From what intelligence I've picked up, the Soviet forces are pretty much on a halt. Fuel is in very short supply. Ammunition is plentiful. Rations, some are there. I said the biggest thing is water. There's a few deep wells that they use in Conan to bring water up, but the river is still pretty shitty. lot of the crap that was come down the river from Poznan, so you don't want to swim in the river. But the river, as far as I know, is you can go west towards the Poznan area. I don't think it's deep enough to go east. Just gonna pull you all onto the Polish map and zoom in. You can see Conan is on the river. Yeah, the river is, because Parker had a map, so he's probably got a map. It's traversable to Threm, definitely. East and south, not so much. Poznan got taken out, but you get to Poznan and you're not far away from the German border. Is that the plan, to get out of Poland into Germany?
What do we know, or what did we hear last about Germany prior to?
You think some Soviet forces pushed into Germany, but a lot of them got pushed out when the NATO forces attacked through to Calais. But that engagement was the last 3 weeks. Last 3-4 weeks. A lot of the forces have been in cantonment for a lot longer than that. A lot of the Soviet forces, because the Soviets basically went through Poland, pushed through to Germany, and then counterattacks pushed them back. And then NATO decided to use the Operation Reset to push through. They were aiming to push through to Warsaw. But it seems that the Soviet forces were ready for them. And there was a counterattack that went through Calais and basically wiped out Calais. The map that you've got shows the forces on there, and the intelligence is about a week old. The one you know of now is that one in Conan, which is the Conan militia.
Well, originally I think we were going to try to head towards Warsaw. It was still a free city, but now maybe Germany is the better option of the two.
Warsaw's taken out. Krakow was the free city.
Oh, Krakow, sorry.
Warsaw got nuked.
Krakow is in the south.
Yeah, which...
Quite a way south.
Yeah, which we're still also worried about.
Yes.
Going through Soviet. So Germany might actually be...
Krakow is on the Vistula. And Conan is on, I think it's called, the river is called the Vorta. I apologize to any Polish people in chat that I'm brutalizing the rivers or towns. Originally you were thinking of going through Kola, crossing the bridge at Kola. But there's a bridge going west, which is the main road that leads up to Poznan.
Maria, what was the exfiltration plan for you all along? Like, where?
Exfiltration plan? I had none. I've been here since the 80s. I met up with Mike a couple of weeks ago. Michael. She kind of just takes a moment. It's almost like a wave of sadness. He only came in. God, I wish he was here. Would have given us so much extra. He came in just after 96, after the The Soviets took the Baltic states. If he had an exfiltration plan, I didn't know it. But I'm here. As you can see, I went deep cover. She kind of looks at the kids. Maybe too deep. I want to get out of here because I don't want them to see the horrors of war. But
what was that, Brian? I missed that, mate.
Might be too late for that.
Yeah. But if I can get them back to the States, it's going to be hard for them. But there's got to be more back in the States, yeah? I heard rumors that there were some attacks. I know Britain got hit. At least 1 or 2 nukes hit some of the cities in Britain.
My guess would be the U.S. took several more.
She kind of looks over at the sleeping Dottie. Oh, yep. Yeah, you can tell him that.
Rick, how much fuel would we need to get past Posnans on a overloaded vehicle?
You need
We're
lots.
not going to be able to accommodate everybody in one vehicle. Not the ones we have. Not with the supplies as well. It's not a matter of overloading. It's a matter of not enough space. Period.
You see, Kat, Isaac, you need to go with them. Take them, escort them away from here. I won't be coming with you. I need to stay here.
Okay.
I need to get the intelligence back about this to the home army.
Okay. There was
Yes.
another truck at the farm. I look at Maria.
Yes, it's working. There's no fuel in it though. If we get fuel, it's got the capacity to carry things. Maybe still, maybe we can get a small still or something to produce some fuel. That would be helpful. The one that's in Conan is a large industrial one. It produces a lot of alcohol fuel. Maybe a still we can use to get some fuel. Once we've got some fuel to get out of here. I don't know how easy it is to make fuel, but they seem to make a bit of it.
We could trade for fuel. What do you have in your truck? I say that to our American friends.
Okay.
Not enough. Some parts. Weapons.
I mean, parts might be good.
Sure.
They're looking for vehicles. Parts might be good.
You got Parker's night vision goggles. You've picked up a fair amount of Soviet assault rifles.
We won't have enough to fuel 2 vehicles anyways. So we'll have a vehicle for trade if we can get a small still and fuel to fuel up the truck and a still for it and trade for the vehicle.
Truck's not going to be big enough either. Not for everybody. We need to think about getting a different vehicle.
Yeah, the truck itself can accommodate 2 extra passengers over what the UAZ can. But it's got the cargo capacity the UAZ hasn't got. You'd need the truck or something similar to carry the still in. We need to try and make sure we can keep 2 vehicles going. If we get 2 vehicles going, We split the supplies between 2 vehicles. We split the people between 2 vehicles, and therefore we have double the chance of not all getting killed once. You can use then the... What have you got, a Hummer or something, or...
It's an old UAZ.
Oh, you can use that as a scout vehicle. I don't know. I mean, I can use the SMG, but...
But yeah, we're definitely going to need a
still is going
still.
to be finding fuel for 2 vehicles, or building a still, which I don't have the know-how to do.
You do know that Doddy, when he was in Turek, was speaking to one of Casper's mechanics who ran a still after the incident with the defusing the artillery shell. So Doddy might have some knowledge. Plus, he's one of 2 mechanics that the group has.
I mean, I'm sure we can figure it out, but then there's a matter of like getting the parts together. Bottom line is I feel like we need more than we have trade for.
Well, but we also
so I think
know...
you're going to have to make some tough choices, Kobe.
I don't think it's tough choices. I just think it's going to be extra work. We know they're trying to get a power restored. So they have power plants that they need skilled workers in. If we can get in there
I'm sorry, I'm not going to work with them in a situation where they're clearly using NATO troops as slaves. This is a situation where I'd be more happy to go in with guns blazing and take what we need.
That's also an option after a few days rest. I'm not going in with a hobbling army.
Oh, I'm certainly not suggesting we do it right now.
But
I look over at Noddy sleeping, and I look down at my leg.
Yeah,
if we can
you'd
get
be walking
in,
at a light hurt.
if we can get in, we may be able to, speak to some of the NATO slaves and get them to start working on the inside to coordinate something.
Well, the coal mine, it's actually north of the town itself. It's guarded, but it's a wide open area. It's not a tunneling mine; it's a surface mine. So what they do is they scrape off the surface crap, and then they dig out the coal from there. I mean, before the war, it was the main coal producer for this area. There's tons of it in the area.
So we hit the coal mine, we arm the prisoners, we start an uprising, and we take what we need.
That's an option.
How
We certainly don't have enough to
have?
be able to trade for a still.
How
We
much
have
time
enough
do
to
you
trade
have?
for some fuel. Sorry?
How much time do you have?
We have as much time as we need to keep each other alive. We're not on a schedule. It's not like we've got a plane to catch. Although it certainly would be nice if we could find one.
Well, time will also depend on, the Russians' progress through this area. The more the Russians progress through here, the more difficult it will be for us to have free movement.
What were you thinking, Isaac?
I'm just thinking to start an uprising, to get enough weapons to arm the workers at the coal mine. That's going to take a very long time.
Well, we have a decent amount of weapons already. I think it's a matter of finding people who want to rise up, arming them, and for every guard they take down, there's another weapon they're going to be able to pass on to someone else.
And remember, they're only being protected by a militia. I mean, we're looking at skilled NATO troops versus an armed militia, where there are likely many more NATO troops
We can hope
working as slaves.
that there would be a discrepancy there. Hopefully their militia is not better trained, but Isaac seems to be fairly well trained for just being a policeman compared to soldiers, so no offense.
You could put some good shots in with that sniper rifle.
Right. Rick doesn't particularly believe he's just a policeman. Not with that sniper rifle.
Okay.
I have no trouble believing that at all. Oh, they do. For sure they do. For sure. They would have had to because
they don't train normal cops how to use sniper rifles like Isaac did.
Now, looking at the map that you got from Parker, you do know that north there are some NATO, or there were some NATO forces. 2 German units and it looks like a Dutch unit.
See, that sounds tempting, but the problem is, what if we run into somebody who has more rank than Kobe? How are Kobe and Dottie going to react to that? I know how Rick is.
Yeah.
I'm just laying out what you know.
Yeah, I mean, because I think that was Parker's plan, was to kind of head north, I think, originally. I think that's what he discussed, I think, with...
Yeah, because Parker didn't want command, though.
Yeah, no, I mean, there is that.
I do not object at all to being reunited with some sort of semblance of military authority and structure. Best chances of survival in that case, and getting the kids to safety.
Yeah, I'm just concerned of what kind of military remnant we're going to run into, because apparently, if everybody was paying attention, NATO forces don't have a very good reputation around here.
No. And I think, isn't it just as likely that they might have broken away and set themselves up as little warlords or something?
Exactly.
Just as much as anybody else, right?
I heard NATO
just
troops
as much as the Soviets.
They have quite a good reputation as slaves now, apparently.
Yeah, but then the question you got to ask is why?
Yeah, well, that's it.
Well, Wozniak just picked up anyone, stragglers like yourselves. It's a good job you didn't meet any of the militia out on patrol. They could have captured you and you could have been working in the coal mine.
I think you're building these militia up to be probably more than they are, but we'll see. How many strong are they? Any idea? I mean, are they patrolling the countryside in force?
They are. I know they are sending out patrols around Conan and the outskirts of Conan. They have some combat vehicles. I think.
PCs?
Trucks. They have a BTR 60. A couple of Jeeps.
Okay, I don't actually know my vehicles, so what is a
BTR
60?
That's not like that tank thing that we...
No. BTR 60 is an armored personnel carrier.
Okay.
It is...
Okay, well that sounds tempting.
It's fairly old. It's a wheeled armored vehicle. It's an 8-wheeled armored personnel carrier. It was developed in the 50s. Crew of 3, passengers 14, that sort of things.
Perfect.
Okay, so here's what I'm thinking.
It's got some
armor.
armor.
Information.
Not a lot of armor, but it's got some armor.
We have a decent amount of supplies right now to last for a few days, especially if Isaac's sister is going to help us. Sorry, I guess I should talk about this in character now that I've heard about the BTR 60. So here's what I'm thinking. We can survive here for a few days. We can stay supplied, at least for this small group. It seems like nobody knows we're here, except for possibly whoever killed the GRU guys who were sent. The BTR 60, I think, should be our initial goal. We wait, we set watch, we keep an eye on Conan, we wait for the militia to go out on patrol, particularly a group with the BTR 60. And we try and take it down. And we take it for ours. That would be a huge first step to making me feel safer.
Might not be a bad idea if we could somehow try to collect fuel in the meantime.
Not arguing with that. I mean, we could do some scavenging away from heavily populated areas.
Yeah.
But I think we should try to set up a heist, essentially, where we can get our hands on that BTR-60.
See, Maria, kind of... You have a vehicle, you said you have a UAZ?
Yes.
If you can bring it up here, there's enough brush that we can hide it here. I guess you have it hidden somewhere else. If it's not close to here, then you risk losing
relatively
it.
Close, but yeah. We should definitely make that priority one, going to get the UAZ and bringing it here and hiding it. Because we're either going to need to use it, or if we get the BTR-C, we can break it down for parts. For trade, or to help us repair the BTR-C, or whatever we want to do in the future.
Do any of you
that's
speak
just my
Russian?
idea. I'm not in charge.
Any of you speak Russian? It's a shame.
Exactly. Right?
I know the word for captain now.
Oh, Isaac doesn't speak Russian either?
No.
Oof. Oof.
No.
You've gone from a Russian speaker in the group to a Polish speaker in the group.
Yeah.
It just seemed more useful.
Polish is nice, but...
And it turns out no.
You can't have it easy both
I
ways.
should have gone for a guy that spoke Polish and Russian, but no English. That
would have made role-playing interesting.
Yeah.
So, rest the night. Tomorrow you can get go and get your vehicle, bring it here. Yeah. Okay. See, Cat. So, rabbit stew, anybody? And she starts serving up some bowls of rabbit stew, a bit of rabbit meat, some potatoes, a very basic flavor, some turnips in there.
Potatoes.
Yeah, it's nothing exciting, but strangely, as you tuck into some late night food, it's gamey, but it's not an MRE, so it actually tastes real good.
Very exciting.
Real good. And with that, with you resting, we'll take our break for tonight. So after your little discussion, you need to settle down and sleep. It's one shift left until the morning.
Are you wondering who's taking it?
I guess that would be me.
Well,
I think I'm the only one.
You see,
Cat.
Cat
can do it.
You get some sleep. You have seen more combat than I have. I'll keep track and watch everyone. Isaac, you sleep too.
Cat.
And there'll be rabbit stew for breakfast.
Yay.
Isaac, I even let you take the bunk. We hot bunk it.
Just be careful. Like, the back entrance is armed. Don't forget. I'm assuming she's not a military person.
Did you ever you told her she was a teacher, didn't you?
Yeah,
Isaac,
she's a primary school teacher.
She's a primary school teacher.
So she knows all about tactics, mate.
Yeah.
Right.
She's a primary school teacher and shoots a mean crossbow.
Yeah.
But doesn't have any guns.
Just your typical primary school teacher, really.
Well, Poland archery was an after-school activity, wasn't it?
It was an in-school activity. Apparently.
Okay. You all settle down for sleep. Rick, you put your feet up on the couch and rest up. Isaac, you go in the bunk above the kids. Maria brings one of the chairs over and puts it alongside the kids' bed. Sleeps there. Kobe, you climb carefully up on the bunk above Doddy. And as you all drift to sleep, all of you thinking about, the last thing that you hear, Doddy, is Kobe, is Doddy's snores. That rhythmic Scottish snoring.
That's a bit disturbing. The last thing you hear, Kobe.
Yeah,
Yes.
the last thing I heard.
As you fall asleep.
I always envisioned it would be my wife saying, "I love you, honey," but I guess not.
What was it? Did it have a Scottish accent? Did she have a Scottish accent, though? I love you, honey. As Doddy's out. No.
Somebody throw a military boot at Dottie to stop the snoring.
And there is a funny smell though as well. Oh yeah, Doddy took his boots off. You all rest up, get some sleep. You can all heal 1 point of health.
Oh,
nice.
If you are injured. Everyone bar Isaac can heal up 1 point of stress if they've got it.
Oh.
But Isaac, you can't heal any stress you've got, if you have any stress.
as if I've got any stress.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I wonder why he can't heal any stress.
Because he hasn't got any stress.
Was there anything I could have done first aid wise to help people with their wounds and healing, keep their...
Yes. Yeah, okay, yeah. Because the most injured is Grayson.
Yeah.
So if you can make a medical aid check for him before you went to sleep, what that will do is it means he is under the care of a medical personnel. So that will knock 1 day off his recovery of the critical injury he took.
All right.
Okay.
Nice.
Very well.
Ah-ha-ha.
All right. At least one.
Okay. So yeah, Rick, what do we got? You have got your critical injury. Adjust that.
Still at many days.
1 day less now, my friend.
And tomorrow's another day.
Put it down to 8 days. Which I've done. That takes into account the rest for the shift.
It's only twice as long as this campaign's been going on for.
It is only twice as long as this campaign is going on for. But that's okay. He can still drive.
Yes.
Just.
You have to live 8 more days for this to have been worth it for me to be having you under my care.
Yeah, we gotta know if you can survive the next 8 days, whether or not it was worth using that medikit on you.
Exactly.
And Doddy, he only took minor scuffs, so you would have checked Doddy as well. He's down 1 hit point now, so he is fine. I've just seen Doddy can ride a horse. Okay.
Of course he can.
Might come in handy, yeah, it might come in handy. Right.
Maybe he could fire a sniper's rifle while riding a horse too.
Maybe.
No, he's not Canadian, mate.
No, of course not.
Big question though is, can he drive a horse?
Well,
Because then he's actually got some skill points.
Maybe. So you rest up, get up in the morning. I am going to do a...
And Brian, you should know that you drive cattle, not horses.
Well aware. People are always driving cattle around here.
Exactly.
Oops. Okay, Doddy has unjammed his weapon. So next morning you wake up, Doddy is awake, and he has stripped down his weapon. And you can see he has cleared the jam out. So he's L85. Got 2 successes. Okay, so he's done some repairs on that. You are going to need to, at some point, spend some time on maintenance on the Jeep and maintenance on your vehicles, on your weapons as well. But Dolly's was the only gun that jammed up. And it was the UAZ 469 that unjammed the weapon. It's fantastic, that vehicle. Fantastic.
Almost don't want to get rid of it.
Yeah. So you have breakfast and you take some water out of the stored water that is in the number station. And there is, it seems, some sort of rain catchment system they have. Not close to it, but out in the woods. So there is fresh rainwater. And what's the plan for this morning? Are you going to go and get the Jeep?
I think we need to do recon around the area.
Okay.
Just to make sure that it's safe.
I think we need to go get the Jeep first.
Yeah, but we got to make sure that it's safe to take the Jeep out.
Well, you can basically recon the area.
The Jeep is sitting in the middle of nowhere.
It's hidden.
We need to bring the Jeep back here.
How about you do recon?
We just got to do it while there's nobody patrolling the road that we're going to use to cross over to get into here and stuff.
And perhaps I can take the. Sure. I can go with.
Yeah. So we
go with him and take the get the Jeep if you wish to recon. How about that?
No, I mean, check the area out, make sure it's safe, get the Jeep.
So probably best to leave Doddy guarding the number station as soon as he's not here. Enjoying an extra dose of the rabbit stew that Cat promised him. And he does seem quite happy this morning that he has had the rabbit stew. And I better do this now before I forget.
I'm always interested in what's happening, around with the troop and stuff. So, looking towards Isaac, how does it seem that he's taking it that Cat has taken a shining to Dottie? Obviously, is he kind of okay with it, or do I notice him reacting any specific way? With this new favoritism being shown by Cat?
I don't know, Isaac. Does your friend Cat? Do you have any issues with her? Keeping an eye on Doddy and making sure he's okay and feeding him.
I'm going to say probably not.
No.
It seems to be quite a business-like relationship they have. I think generally
they're friends.
Yeah.
I mean, you know the information about who Kat is and what she was involved in. That was in that note sheet I gave you. The two handouts you've got.
She's part of Free Army, isn't she? So
she's part of the Home Army, which is a free Polish. It dates back from World War II, but it's basically the Polish Free Army. It was their resistance in World War II. And there are many cells scattered throughout the Polish countryside. So she is the Polish Army contact for this area, the Home Army contact for this area, and you got to know her that way. Okay. So, you lock and load and gather your basic gear. So, what are you taking? Weapons. You can see Maria hands you a radio, Kobe. She kind of goes through how to operate this Soviet Warsaw Pact radio. It is a Soviet R126 radio. It's in your inventory. It is a very old radio. It's not top of the line. It's now more used by the former client states of the Warsaw Pact. It's got a 2 kilometer range. She tunes it into a frequency. I'll have the radio on here. You got a 2 kilometer range. If you transmit, make it short and concise. I don't know if there are any radio detection units in the area. Yeah, I won't transmit back to you because that then maybe could be tracked back here. So, yeah. And she kind of turns it to a frequency. This is a frequency that is not a normal Soviet or Polish frequency.
Wasn't there some civilian clothes in here?
Yeah, there's civilian clothes if you want to put civilian clothes on.
Yeah, I'm going to change into civvies, but I'm going to keep my flak vest and helmet on.
At this point, we may still want to be as best camouflaged as we can in the area.
I mean, I wasn't wearing camo to begin with.
Well, your fatigues are fairly camoed. But what I'll do is, Rick, I will put in a set of civilian clothes. So if you're going to wear those, click those as equipped and store your you got fatigues on? You're not showing fatigues.
Yeah, I don't have anything like that listed.
Okay. We'll sort that out.
So I was apparently just naked under my flak jacket.
You've been naked under your flak jacket, but yes.
So when he tore off those badges, it really hurt.
So yeah,
you sewn into my shoulder.
American flag tattoos.
Oh, you're just so harsh, you guys, aren't you? You're so harsh.
That's the level of realism.
I know it is the level of realism. Hang on. Oh, there you go. Hang on. There you go. So you don't complain. You've now got a set of fatigues. There you go. Extra weight for you to carry. So yes.
Great.
Just make sure you put those in your backpack. I take it you would leave your backpack here. So only. I'm not encumbered, so no, I'm bringing my backpack. But your backpack,
I am very strong.
Reduces your mobility.
Yeah.
If you're trying to do anything,
it hasn't yet. Anytime I've made a mobility roll, the only thing that I've been affected by mobility-wise was my injury.
Okay, right, no, that's fine. I mean, you got quite a lot of weapons there as well, haven't you? You got the M16, the knife. You got the axe as well. Plus, you stole Parker's Browning, didn't you? Yeah. Did, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, but I'm strong, man. I'm at 8.25 out of 10.
Okay.
I'm good.
Yeah.
I mean, we got a bunch of 7.62 rounds, didn't we, from those Soviets that were killed earlier? Or you
got some Soviets.
I'm not carrying that.
Yeah, I was wondering if I might be able to steal some of those from.
Somebody's got it, or it's in the Jeep.
No, you got some that you brought along here.
Yeah, we weren't in the Jeep. We weren't in the Jeep when we encountered them.
Oh, right. Yeah, I didn't pick up any of that.
You've got 2 AK-74s and 3 clips of ammo. So what I'll do is...
Or rather, I should say I'm not holding any of it. I guess we brought it back.
You brought it back with you. It was with your gear. So I will stick... You got 3 clips of ammo. How much ammo are you giving him, Kobe? Because you'd be in charge of this. Yeah.
Well, I think if he's the only one carrying that type of weapon, let him have all 3.
Okay, right.
He's the only one. I'm still using my American-made weapon. I still have enough ammo.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I'm still rocking on the 5.56. Actually,
yeah, that's fine. It will soon be a case where you run out.
Yeah, at some point. It's only been 4 days.
Exactly.
I see that you're very familiar with that sniper rifle. How are you with Soviet assault rifles?
I can use them.
Okay, you have an AK-74 in your inventory. You have 3 clips of ammunition, and it is loaded, locked, and ready to go.
Okay.
So are you leaving your sniper's rifle here, then?
No. I think he'd be more inclined to take that.
Yep.
the SVD and leave the assault rifle. To be honest.
Okay.
No, you've got the
Oh, the
assault
SVD
rifle.
uses.
No, he's got an SWD, but yes.
Yeah, it's the
Oh,
yeah, the Polish variant.
Polish version of the SVD. Right, well, it gives you the AKs and
We may be able to trade the AK-74s.
yeah,
in
but I said
Conan.
you've got one of
Yeah.
the AKs because, to be honest, at a medium range engagement, the sniper rifle is pretty pants because it's quite large. Yes, it's semi-automatic, but it's not the easiest thing to fire at short range. You got your pistol, but an AK gives you a bit more threat power than a pistol. So whether you take it or not, I don't know, but you've got it in your inventory. You decide whether you take it with you.
Okay.
Okay, so you head out of the numbers station. Are you heading out through the main hatch, or are you disarming the Claymore mine?
I would think we would leave that in place.
Yeah.
Just have Toby.
Yeah, I mean, if it's well,
Hey, the main hatch is closer to the way we came in, right?
And it's all-
It's
yeah.
close to where the UAZ is anyway. It's in that
It
direction.
is.
and it'll also give us an opportunity to make sure that it's recamouflaged well, and you know,
And
nothing
it's
is disturbed
it's
it.
also the area where you're going to be able to park the UAZ.
Yeah.
There's a little clearing just off from that area that's kind of concealed. So you head out. Are you going to check the GRU bodies while you're out?
Oh, that's a good point.
Yes, that's
Okay.
Oh, is this where the zombies come in?
yeah, exactly. Infected?
So you
Body's infected.
yeah, they go, ah! Yeah, you head out, and you're a military man, so you kind of do remember roughly where they are, and you do see the little marks that Maria put on the trees to mark the bodies. And you head over there, and yes, you come across the first one, 2 bullets in the back, and the second one you find and see. They're concealed a little bit. They're in the undergrowth, the grass, the crap on the forest floor, the twigs and the branches. The second one had 3 shots in the chest. Now, in the daylight, you kind of look towards where you found the shell casings, and there is a direct line of sight from where the shell casings were to where the 2 bodies were. Whoever did it, though, must have been a pretty damn good shot with a pistol. So you'd say probably has military training. From the dispersion on the shells of where they hit. And again, Isaac, you being a former police officer, you can definitely see that the one with the shot in the back was definitely shot first. And more than likely, it was whoever shot him shot that one.
The other guy
And the other one turned around looking for it
and got shot.
But there are no weapons on the bodies, no dog tags. But then you check the bodies at the farm. And did you bury, before you came back, did you bury the GRU dead GRU people, or did you just hide them somewhere in the barn or something so they stink out the place?
Left them for the cannibals.
You kind of were a while, so you probably had time to do something with all the bodies.
Yeah. I think I would have hidden them. I wouldn't have buried them.
Okay, there's a couple of barns that outbuildings you could have actually buried them in.
I could took them into the house, if nothing, I suppose. Hid them under the bed.
Yes. Yes.
Well, we certainly can't leave these bodies here because they will start to decompose and attract the attention of animals at the very least, if not other people that are wandering around.
You do see there are a few nibble marks in
been had it going, yeah.
some of the bodies. So yeah. Yeah, so you could drag them to where...
I want to take a look at their uniforms now.
Okay.
Because I know something that the other guys don't know.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
And that is about this idea that there may be more than one faction.
Okay, yeah.
Can I identify by uniform these different factions? That's what I'm...
Ooh.
I'm wondering, are they the same as the one as... I mean, the Coney militia...
Yeah.
I mean, do they have a uniform, or
they have a uniform. They have a unit badge and everything. The colonel that runs them is a former Polish officer, or he's a Polish officer.
Right.
So he runs them on a definitely a more militaristic.
Okay. So they're going to be wearing like Polish uniforms, I guess, right?
They have They have a fatigue on that all matches. They have a Polish flag on their uniform to identify them as Polish. These guys are in fatigues. They are in Soviet issued fatigues. There are no unit badges on them. No identifying marks on them. No rank insignia. No names on them, which typically...
casting my mind back to the previous day, did the guys that our American friends took out, did they have insignia or anything on them?
No, they were wearing exactly the same as this. Now, what Maria told you is these were GRU agents. Now, the GRU is the Soviet military intelligence.
Yeah.
Whereas the word that you got told, or the others got told in Terek, was KGB, which is another intelligence service, but is not specifically military, more political.
Right. Okay, so I could put 2 and 2 together and make 5 here, couldn't I?
Yeah, you could do, yes, yeah. But you definitely got told that these were GRU and they were special forces trained. So they'd been pumped out of the Soviet special forces unit and indoctrinated into GRU as black ops persons, effectively.
Yeah. But they were shot with American weapons, weren't they?
Were shot with an American weapon, a pistol.
Possibly a machine pistol.
There may have been more casings. Wouldn't there be more bullet casings if it was a machine pistol? How many did you find?
Possibly. He found 5 shell casings, which indicates 5 shots.
And all 5 are in the bodies of these.
Oh yeah, there's definitely 5 wounds. 3 wounds in one.
So it's not like he's
in a very tight grouping.
Yeah.
They were very tight grouping.
No, this wasn't a machine pistol. I don't.
Well, we identified that they were NATO rounds, like
NATO rounds. Yeah, NATO rounds.
They're the 9mm rounds, aren't they?
They are 9
so
9 by
but yeah,
9 by 19.
Yeah.
Whereas the Soviets used 9 by 18, I think. But the military.
Oh, here's something interesting that we could use. So I am a pistol specialist.
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be, yes.
Would I be able to identify if this was fired like from a pistol close grouping or an SMG close grouping?
Definitely a pistol.
Yeah, this is pistol, guys.
There is no active 9mm machine pistol in service at this time in this theatre. You have got a pistol specialization, looking like it was probably an M9 pistol that did it, because the only other US military pistol that is in theatre would be the M1911A1, which is a 45 caliber weapon, and the M9 has a magazine of 15 shells.
So yeah, I relay that.
Yeah.
Okay.
So this.
But with your pistol specialization, definitely whoever fired it was definitely skilled. Would probably be a pistol specialist as well. Which
Maybe
would,
not as skilled as me, but you know.
well, maybe, but would maybe indicate an officer, more than likely.
Officer, yeah,
Because
sharpshooter.
typically only an officer or would be issued with a pistol or sidearm. Your grunts would have just assault rifles or carbines.
Really upset me, which is why I took Parker's gun.
Okay, well,
Waiting to get my hands on a pistol.
Your pistol was your it was your civilian stuff, wasn't it? Yeah. Okay. So yes, but yeah, the position that the casings were found, definitely, he had, whoever was had shots there. And again, going over and looking in the daylight, Kobe, you can see there's a bit more foliage around there, as if this person was concealed when this person engaged. So was probably in a position of overwatch, was able probably to take one down without any issue.
Okay, and on the position that where he is, do I see any signs that any fire was returned close to him? I don't see any signs of.
No.
Okay, so.
But you know, the other GRU operatives that were at the farm were armed with AKs.
Yeah.
These guys.
It may indicate that whoever shot them stripped the AKs off them.
I still say we need to get these bodies buried deep enough that they won't be disturbed. Anything that is going to decompose in this area is a risk to our location. So
Why do you think he was taking the dog tag?
Maybe GRU weren't wearing dog tags. Did you find any on them in the farm?
So they've got no insignia. That would make sense.
No insignia, and there were no dog tags on any of the GRU operatives in there.
Why are you so interested in these operatives?
There's rumors. Oh, we'd heard rumors that there appear to be two Soviet factions here in this area.
It's wonderful news. Soviets fighting Soviets is a wonderful thing.
Unfortunately, we don't think that they're aware of each other's presence.
Do you mean? Well, you got told by Maria that it was GRU. So for the military ones,
GRU, and the other guys must be KGB.
Yeah.
But they're obviously they don't know that each other are working in the area. Some reason.
So it may not even be at crossed purposes. They might just be two independent units working here, which is worse for us because it's now twice the amount of intelligence officers going through this area.
That also just means a target-rich environment. It's a joke, boss.
Yeah, and I look at your leg. Uh-huh. You just want to use that pistol you got, don't you? See if you're a better marksman than, we'll call him Mr. X.
I mean, I did all right in our last battle, that's for sure.
Top marks, Grayson, top marks.
I mean, for those military ones here, so that will be Grayson and Kobe. Kobe, there would have been pre-war rumors that the military intelligence, the GRU, doesn't always get along with the state KGB intelligence service. But you'd have no idea what would cause them to be rivals.
Our CIA might have more information about that, but we're not there right now.
Yeah,
so
it's just like you've got the CIA on the US side,
right.
and the DIA, the Defense Intelligence Agency.
Well, maybe Maria could be more illuminating later on. Maybe she understands more what GRU is after in this area. Maybe it's more than just her. Maybe it's something to do with Jericho.
Well, this officer that we saw running through the forest yesterday, and which faction is he with?
Well, we know he's posing as, well, I guess is an American officer, right?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, who's he with? The GRU or the CIA? All we've seen of the CIA though is well, we haven't seen any, or not CIA. I'm sorry, KGB.
KGB. Yeah.
All we've seen of the KGB is we've just heard Boris talk about it. We haven't really seen any KGB.
Casper and some others seem to think that Boris was KGB, or the impression was ex-KGB.
Yeah.
Look, we know
we
enough
haven't
to know
actually
that this.
seen any KGB.
No, but we know the American officer was enough in a hurry to crash a Jeep, leave a radio,
yeah,
and head off in the same direction that we went to later on, where we intercepted a Russian team that were supposed to be meeting supposedly with an American turncoat. So yes, that operative is still in the wind.
Sure.
Wait, he was supposed to be meeting a team?
I'm sure Maria said to you, Kobe, in the end of last session that they had identified 2 Soviet agents.
There was a sergeant and a captain, wasn't there, or something?
There was...
Was that right? Am I got a corporal?
Captain Gerard and a Sergeant Cutler.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And there were some photos and an envelope that was in the numbers station. So Maria may be able to tell you a little bit more when you get back.
Yep.
I mean, I know, obviously, about the group that was supposed to be meeting the captain, but Isaac doesn't.
Yeah, exactly. Okay.
Which is why I asked the question. But.
So, the bodies, what are you doing with them?
We have to bury them. We have to find some way to mask the smell and decay and make sure.
How are you going to bury them? Have you got any sort of spade with you or anything like
that? Grayson, that backpack that you're carrying. We got to take. We better take the bodies with us far away, and maybe I'm gonna start dragging. I mean, it's not fun. It's not quiet. But we
down in the tunnel.
No, that's going to attract animals. It's going to attract dissent. People will know.
And also keep them cool in case we need them. I'm joking.
Yeah, I'm just wondering if it matters whether anybody finds them.
I don't know if you said need or eat. It's kind of on the audio. It was a little, but I might be a little bit more concerned about Grayson, that the wound may have affected him in other ways.
Right.
Here's just something for you, just before you consider what you're going to do with these dead bodies. You know, from Maria, that you got told that 2 GRU agents were sent with a map to the number station. These are obviously those.
But we didn't find the map on them.
You didn't find the map on them. But also, in your time coming back, because they were left probably when you heard the first gunshot, which probably would assume that is when the GRU took over the farm. And then you raced over there. That's only 15 minutes away by foot from where you guys were at the number station. You didn't hear any gunshots. So yes, there was a lot of gunfire going on, but you didn't hear any gunfire. And if these guys had heard gunfire, why didn't they come back to the farm? Because you could hear the initial gunfire from the number station when you were outside.
That's right.
They were already dead. So,
and we didn't hear the shots, which means a silenced pistol, perhaps.
Exactly.
And aren't silenced pistols a little bit more accurate as well as shorter range?
They're not more accurate. It actually lowers the muzzle velocity, doesn't it?
Okay.
Yep.
Because it reduces the sound by reducing the muzzle velocity. So it would indicate he's even more skilled, or she's even more skilled. Anyway, so I guess Isaac, you grabbed the other body because Ricky's limping.
Yeah. Have fun moving the bodies, boys.
And you make your way south through the forest, through the woods, and you dump the bodies. Go on.
I would like to dump the bodies close to another abandoned farm or abandoned building, because that might actually misdirect the enemies to thinking that's where...
You didn't notice any buildings when you travelled from the road,
right?
But there was the M151 Jeep that you found crashed. And you could move the bodies past where the UAZ is hidden and put them in around that Jeep.
It's a long way to be dragging these bodies.
But these guys are fit, and I'm sure they'll make their stamina rolls.
Yeah, we will, and we will even carry them so we're not making drag marks.
Really?
Don't be lazy, Isaac. You got to get that body up there. We can't lead a trail back to this place.
I'm all for leaving them for the animals.
Well, not here though. Then
make a stamina roll, each of you that are carrying the bodies.
All right.
Sure, you've got the muscles and the ability to do that.
You guys are tough. You can handle it.
They're just going to make me look bad now. Oh, yeah.
We both have to succeed in order for one of us to succeed. Oh, nice.
Okay, you both kind of, out-muscling each other. Hey, I got him. Yeah, I can do this. Yes.
Respect for Polish police.
Yes, you managed to pass the UAZ. You see where the UAZ is still there, but you leave it concealed. And you continue back on the road. You have to duck when you hear a vehicle on the road.
Oh.
But you just see a truck with 2 civilians in it. And they kind of speed up as they get to the crashed Jeep, but don't even stop. And keep on going on the eastern road. So western road, heading away. So it looks like they they came up probably from Turek and went west on the road towards Poznan. You dump the bodies and then carefully make your way back to the UAZ. You start the UAZ, you uncover it, you start the UAZ up. Grayson, you look at that fuel gauge, which is just a fraction off empty.
Right.
3 litres in it. And we're going to be nice. Make a driving roll, please.
Okay. Here we. I guess it's good my broken foot doesn't affect that.
Yeah, it's a bad ankle. It's okay. It'll be fine. How bad could it be?
The clutch is light.
Yeah.
Not bad, actually.
Not bad. You all get on to the UAZ.
Oh, that was just to get on the UAZ.
And you... you...
Get in correctly. Which side is the driver's side?
And you manage to make the fuel last. And you're just pulling up into the little clearing just near the entrance to the numbers station, just a little bit off to the side, as it clunks as the engine stops.
Nope.
And it kind of almost kind of starts rolling backwards and then kind of locks into place as you slam your good foot on the brake. And
No, I actually slammed my bad foot on the
You
brake
see
because I'm
that?
trying to do both of them on there. Oh,
Yeah.
God.
Well, that's a little
Ugh.
piece of luck we just had. Nobody's going to be stealing this from us in the middle of the night unless they have fuel
yeah.
or a tow truck.
So,
Keep an air open for
That's Jake always
sounds
looking
like
on the
being
bright
more
side.
okay. And now, I'm going to need from you two, because it's only semi-hidden, I'm going to need you guys to make a stamina roll. Each. I need 2 successes as you attempt to push the UAZ
Oh no.
Oh,
into cover.
okay.
That's a no from me.
Push it.
And it's a no
Push
from
it.
you.
A no from me, and I'm not pushing it.
Well,
I
we're not
help?
pushing it. We're just pushing it very badly.
You're struggling. Maybe it's Rick being inside steering it is causing the problem.
Oh,
We got to
sure.
put
Blame it on
rocks
me.
behind the last.
You guys seriously need to push that. We need to get this hidden.
All right.
Kobe, you're like uninjured, right?
I'm injured. What are you talking about? But that's okay.
How much?
I'm. You can see that I'm injured, but I will push it. Here we go.
I have pushed it and
Oh, that still
failed.
didn't help. Oh, well, somebody helped then. Somebody
Well,
got
no,
hit.
but we need
Is that
2
Kobe?
successes for 1.
Okay, so
Oh,
you
well.
start pushing it. You don't take any damage because there was no ones in there, but you kind of push it and push it a little bit more, and yeah, you're getting there. But you need another go. So this time, I need a stamina roll from each of you with a -1.
That's not going to make it any easier.
It's gonna no.
Absolutely not. But they
be
are,
fine.
they have been trying to push. You've done a march. You've dragged some bodies.
Come on, strapping lads.
Oh, I
There
got
it
one.
is.
Oh no!
Not so much on Jake.
Okay.
There goes my hernia. Okay.
Fortunately, you didn't push it.
Let's
Oh, that's true.
That's
Okay.
true. You
Yeah, that was just a second roll.
That was the same. Yeah, you managed to again, and it's Isaac. It's you and your Polish muscles. You kind of push, and get it into a position where it's now not can be seen, and you start because you haven't the Humvee. You had a camouflage net. You don't have that with the UAZ, so you start breaking or
off.
grabbing branches.
yeah.
I need one of you to make a recon roll to hide it.
Ooh.
So
Can I do that one? Because I'd like to use Scrounger to scrounge around for materials, maybe. That would be more helpful in, the larger branches or...
you can make the roll, but you're not going to use Scrounger, but I see where you're coming from. Scrounging is more finding something useful. It takes about 6 to 8 hours, so...
I can assist with this, right, though?
Yeah. I need one person to make the roll.
Yep.
And you'll get a +1 for assistance from your colleagues. Now, if someone hasn't got recon or maybe wants to raise recon, then maybe it'd be best for that person.
I have recon.
Yep.
Do you have recon?
I do have recon.
I'm at AD.
BD.
And you're both, BC, so I think it's Rick. After we're pushing, you're going to go and scrounge, I guess, and we'll give you a little bit of a hand with that.
So
You're going
to be, effectively, it's going to be an AC, but yes, make a recon roll. And make sure you click the +1.
Yep.
Oh,
I think I did it.
That is a beautiful
I think I did
sight.
it.
Yeah, that's a
wow.
I can't find it now either.
Where's Rick? Where's the Jeep?
Three successes. That is pretty damn good. You kind of spend about an hour finding bits and covering it. And you kind of, three of you kind of stand back. You see the number station entrance just hidden away over on there. And you're kind of looking and you can barely, it's there, but it's really hard to see. You've done a fantastic job at that. Basically, someone to find it has got to, I think, beat the successes you've got.
Yeah, they've got to roll 4, right?
That is fantastically...
Hey,
definitely
you guys
better.
helped.
Yeah.
You guys gave me some pointers when you could see a little bit of it sticking out in one place, and they helped.
Yeah,
I'll share the win.
Yeah, it was a damn good roll.
I think the
team
dandelions
effort.
through the tailpipe is a very nice touch.
Yeah, basically, anyone that is searching through the area and looking needs to roll one more success than you got.
Oh.
So 4 successes is going to be pretty damn hard to do.
Well, I better not get a concussion. We better not forget where it is, because I don't know if we're going to be able to roll 4 successes.
I know what.
5,000 years from now,
big red X on the roof.
Some
right
person
now.
in the far future finds it.
Okay, so yeah, you spend. I mean, it's basically taken pretty much all of the morning to get this done, and you kind of finish off very satisfied with what you've done. So yeah, pretty damn fine. And I better roll this, hadn't I?
You don't have to roll anything. It's always a choice.
No, I don't have to do it. As you finish up, you can see some clouds are coming over, and a little bit of drizzly rain is starting to fall now as you finish up. And it's strangely refreshing for men that haven't showered or done more than a hand wash in the 5 days that you've been going. And you kind of think as you head back to the hatch of the number station, it's now Saturday. It's the 25th of June. And for Kobe and Rick, you're kind of thinking lots happened in the last 4 or 5 days. In fact, the last week, you got overrun, you scrambled onto that medical Humvee, you had encounters in Tarek, and yeah, you're kind of reflecting. And as you're kind of lifting up the hatch to go in, you can just hear in the distance. And you're kind of glancing up.
Helicopter?
And you can just make out a rickety old Huey with no markings on it. A little bit of smoke kind of coming out of the engine. Just flying in a, how can I put this, northwesterly direction, heading towards Conan. And you kind of think back. That's a US helicopter. Still a lot of Hueys that were used in the early engagements, but you've only seen... Actually, in fact, this is the second helicopter you've seen in a week. Because on one of your first days out, you saw a rickety old Soviet helicopter flying over. And now, with the lack of aviation fuel, with most vehicles running on gasoline, and knowing that aircraft and helicopters can't run on gasoline, you see this rickety old Huey go heading over in the direction of Conan. You close the hatch and climb down. You can see Maria's kids are awake. They're playing with pies. They've got a little ball and they're just kind of rolling it, and he's running around and getting it. You can see Maria there watching. She kind of looks up. I'm glad you're back. Isaac, your friend Kat, she left about half an hour ago, heading into Conan. Said she had a meeting to go to. She definitely is trustworthy, yeah? She left you a note.
Okay.
I read it. She hands it to you.
Of course you did. You're a spy.
It's written in Polish.
Yeah, I'll open it and read it.
It basically says, Isaac, need to head in and see Father Stur. HA business. Be back tonight. Now, Father Stur is a Catholic priest.
Yep. He's neutral, though, isn't he? He doesn't take sides.
He is neutral. He's Polish. He has a fairly damaged Catholic church on the outskirts of Conan, outside of the militia barricades. But he's the only Catholic priest in the area that you're aware of. He is loyal to people. He has no real political affiliation that you're aware of, and the dealings Kat has had a lot of dealings with him over the past few months. But he makes sure that people that comes into his charge and into his care are dealt with appropriately. You know, if they need food, he gets food for them. He prays with them. He ministers to them. He's probably one of the stable ones in Conan. People from the main town do get permission and are able to go outside of the established barricades to go and attend service. And his Catholic church, it's a bit of a wreck. It's very badly damaged. It's got several holes in the roof. It's not in a pretty sight, but he's doing his best. And those that he feeds, or he aids, or he tends to minister to, often stay and try and help him restore the church. So, he's overall
Yeah.
a good guy.
Yeah. I mean, I kind of look at it now. I look at Maria and I say, I don't think we have anything to worry about.
I know
this
Father's been here since the 80s, remember?
Of course. I wonder if...
H.A. Interesting. She smiles. Oh, Mommy, yes.
She is.
Had heard rumours that there was a cell here, but hadn't managed to pin them down. Guess you both did well.
I just deliver a message.
It's okay. Similar line of work then. She smiles. Sometimes things have to be done.
I'm sorry.
Sometimes things have to be done. Thank you for protecting my children. I appreciate it.
I don't know what to say to that. And so
Right.
I kind of turn away from her.
She kind of looks to you, to Rick and to Kobe. So, you got your vehicle back, yes? You've concealed it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Wait, we left some stuff in. Would you mind going and finding it for us?
Don't wander too far.
Oh, dear. And did you find out anything about those GRU guys we found last night?
Look to be the same as the ones that were encountered at the farm.
They were shot by an American weapon.
They were most likely killed while we were at the farm with you and your family.
I had a look round and I didn't see any evidence that they'd been here. Well, you weren't here. There are certain things that I've done so I know when things have been disturbed. She kind of pulls a partly burned envelope. Did you guys burn this?
It wasn't us. It was burning when we got here.
So I left here yesterday morning. So someone has been in here.
Before us, most likely.
So there is someone there that knows about this place.
Well, didn't we assume it was either Cutler or Gerard?
Cutler, I don't think Cutler's in the area. Gerard, I didn't realize he was in the area, but...
I assumed it was your friend that got shot at the farm, but I could be wrong.
Michael wouldn't have burned this. If anything, he would have taken it. This was evidence that Gerard was a Soviet agent. It was photographs of Gerard with a, I won't say young lady, but a woman. And Gerard has a wife in the States. This was what they were holding over him.
Is the photograph Is there still enough of a photograph on there for us to be able to see
No.
the guy? Right.
All you found when you searched this place, you did found a torn open envelope, and you found a load of stuff that was in the fire burning. You do kind of smell the coffee going as well. The coffee smells good. Sally, this is like second day and I feel like home. But yes, you found one half of the envelope on the table. The other half was in the fire.
So, Maria, was this envelope something that you acquired, or you never saw it before?
Oh no, we Michael and I have been searching for information since the NATO attack, Operation Reset. Michael brought this.
You know who this Gerard might be working with? Is it GRU or KGB?
We believe he's GRU asset. Before the assault, Michael was in Lodz, and then he came back through Calais. He was in Calais when the counterattack started. He was ahead of it. He was driving from Lodz to Calais when, oh shit, came loose. He brought this. I don't know where he got it from, but he got this. He got these photographs. He got information on Cutler, on Gerard, and he was the one that put. There were two Soviet operatives, and the Soviet attack was clinical. They knew that we were coming. They had armored forces to counter our forces. I mean, you were in Calais, yes? I take it some of you were. So they attacked brutally. They knew exactly where our units were. That's why we sent out the message.
So
these
that would have to
two,
be Gerard, yes?
these two,
Supplying this information?
Gerard and this Cutler. I don't have any pictures of Cutler or any information, but this Gerard and this Cutler, they must have been involved. Gerard was a GRU operative. He got turned.
So then this message that was sent out was in essence too late. The harm was already done.
Yes.
So is there any strategic advantage now for going after Jericho? Is there still information out there that
Gerard and Cutler? I need to get this back. We need to get to some US forces as we're getting out of here. I don't know where there are any. I've spent the time you were out listening on the radio on US radio frequencies. Some things, but nothing major, nothing to give anything away.
I mean, you must know, surely, You must know where the American forces are, I say, looking at Kobe and Grace.
If anybody did, it was Captain Parker.
Well, we've got his map. The map has it marked.
Yeah, the map has
So we
got
both,
information on.
But it's out of date.
It's a week out of date now. I mean, you know that because you ran into them. There was forces in Calais, and as you were leaving the Turek area, you came across a Soviet unit that was moving up the road from Calais, heading to Turek. That's the other thing you knew about the KGB. The Russian officer that you killed in the little tank.
Oh, yeah.
You got told he was KGB.
Oh, of course, yeah. He made a run for it, didn't he? He was the one. They were after the doctor. That was the KGB.
They were after the doctor.
Mm-hmm.
But you also you had his name as well, didn't you? I think you had his name because you did. You had his name. Let me have a look.
I can say Isaac wouldn't know that.
Isaac wouldn't know that. Captain Potovskik. Soviet KGB officer killed a roadblock west of Turek.
Well, we did see a truck earlier with civilians heading towards Poznan. Could be that that Poznan is still safe, or past Poznan.
Poznan was...
Maybe we do head
Last I heard that Poznan took a nuke. Tactical nuke. And that's why we don't drink the water out of the river.
Yeah.
Oh, wait a minute. Let me think. We're talking about fairly sizable forces here on the move, aren't we?
Yep.
Now we have the map as to how things were 7 days ago. Would Cat have more up-to-date information about any of these kind of forces moving through the Home Army network or whatever? Would Isaac know that?
Probably not, because the Home Army, the Polish Home Army, weren't advised by NATO what they were doing.
No. I wonder if they would have had people in the area that might have seen.
Possibly they would have seen things, but it's a very much of a individual cells and messages are left. So you hadn't discussed anything with Kat. You knew there was an offensive. Yeah. You know, the NATO forces were heading east, and it was probably common knowledge that the rumors were they were heading to Warsaw, but they got stopped by the Soviets and pushed back. And you would have heard stories about you're on your own, and you know that the coal mine has some US and NATO troops that were captured and have now been put to work digging up the coal. And that's pretty much would have been the last week.
Yeah, I mean, I suppose the way these are communicating, always communicating, any information we get from them would be out of date by several days anyway, right? Yeah,
because you're not using a lot of radios. You're traveling around dead drops or certain contacts, but you don't know all the members of Cat's cell in Conan.
I don't know Kat, any of them. Yeah,
you know Kat, and you know that Father Stir is reliable and is a safe place to go if things go wrong.
But as far as I'm aware, he's not a member of her cell.
No, he's not. He's not a member of the Home Army, but he is a safe place to go to. You got told that he is safe if something were to happen. Maybe that's because of his Catholic priest status. I mean, the dominant religion in Poland is Catholicism.
Yeah. So is the church on the edge of town, or is it in the center of town?
It's on the edge of town. It's outside the center. The center area covers the train station, the river effectively, and the main areas of the town. A lot of the outer places were damaged, shells, bombs, missiles over the past 3-4 years. Plus, last winter, there was a dysentery outbreak and there was a cholera outbreak. That wiped out a lot of the civilian population because fresh water was very limited. The ones in the center of town had better access to better supplies, but the ones on the outside tended to not. And as I said, these diseases in a very, very cold winter of 99 to 2000 decimated a lot of civilian populations in the area. So yeah, very nasty. Don't want to pick up cholera or dysentery, guys. Definitely not. Not pleasant.
Or radiation.
Or any more radiation, yeah. Yeah, you want to avoid hot zones if you can.
Yeah, let's not go to Poznan.
Yeah, well.
The problem you got, well...
A problem.
Well,
Multiple.
I mean, the German border from Terek was about 300 kilometers away. So you only travelled, 10 kilometers? No, 10. So you travelled about 20, 25 kilometers west in a week. Yeah.
Wow.
You've got options. There's a river. There's a train in Conan, a station. There's coal. Guess you're going to need to think about where you go next. But I think, for tonight, with you hidden the UAZ 469 and pondering exactly what to do next, a trip into Conan, maybe, civilian clothes, limited arms and ammunition.
What could possibly go wrong?
Could be an interesting thing.
Did we hide something?
I don't know. Did you hide something? And of course, you just saw the helicopter flying over.
Yeah.
Get to the chopper.
Get to the chopper.
I just think that you're desperate to
Nice!
shout.
That was a stream chat
Look
of
at
the evening.
And we'll pick this up in 2 weeks' time. And you guys, in that time, can decide how you are going to proceed. Because the choices are down to you.
Guys,
Damn.
strip down the weapons and clean them. Maintenance. It's going to be a busy couple of days.